So we have had a discussion about how you all would like some extra help with analysis, and I am happy to provide that. So these videos are going to be short and to the point as much as possible because I know you all are busy, I know I'm busy, and I know you don't want to be spending a million years watching YouTube videos. So this excerpt is very short, and so it's going to be very, very typical. One of the things that pops up in theory is that when we get the atypical versions, then, all of a sudden they break all the rules because composers got bored. But let's focus on just the simpler stuff right now. So first thing that we are always going to do in any excerpt that we are analyzing, I haven't had coffee in days. That's probably why. Okay. We're going to look at the entire thing as a whole. One of the mistakes is actually to just focus in on what's happening at the very beginning. And you don't want to do that because there are going to be clues down the line as to what answers you're looking for in your analysis. So first thing, of course, that we're going to look at is the starting note and the ending note. As we can see here, we've got G, B, G, G, B, G. We've got one sharp in the key signature. It's going to be a pretty good bet that this is in the key of G major. Now, one of the things that can happen is that after you come to that conclusion, if you are wrong, this is something that I see in homework a lot, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, look, there's a 1 chord that's going to a 2 chord, and it ends on a 7th chord. That's interesting. 9 times out of 10, 99 times out of 100, things will start and end on a 1 chord. So if all of a sudden you've got a whole lot of 3 chords or a whole lot of 7 chords, then there might be a mistake in your analysis somewhere. So make sure that you are not only responding to the information in front of you, but that you're also using your common sense. We all know that the archetype and the thing that people make fun of in music is when it goes from 1, 4, 5, 1. The reason that's an archetype is because that existed for a very, very long time. So I'm going to assume that we have a 1 chord in the beginning and a 1 chord in the end. And I'm pretty confident in my assumption there. Now, this is something that's going to pop up a little later in the semester. That has enough pitches that I want to give it an analytical symbol. And what I'm going to do is collect those pitches. So I've got an A, C, and I have a G. Now, one of the things that you may remember from talking about 5/7 chords in previous semesters is that if we would like, we can omit the chordal 5th. Remember, this is the root, 3rd, 5th if it were here, and then 7th. Oh my God, look at the chicken scratch. It looks terrible. Good thing I'm not a kindergarten teacher. We can still know the quality of a 7th chord because we know what note is supposed to be right here. And if we've got A, C, blank, G, we know that we're stacking these in thirds. It would be A, C, E, G. But the E is implied. It went out for coffee. It's not there, and that's okay. This is only okay in 7 chords. For now. Okay. So I've got an A, C, and a G with the A in the bass, which is a little funky because this is actually a 2/7 chord. It's kind of funky. What are you doing, Bach? Whatever. All right, next one. I've got G, B, D, but the B is what is in the bass, which means it can't be in root position. And I've already told you that 6/4 chords are their own special thing. And so we know we're not looking for those. So this is a 1 chord in first inversion. If you would like to collect them so that you can see which chord that is, that's always a good strategy, always. It's not that you don't know, it's that you might be too exhausted to remember or to be able to see it clearly. You've got 25 other classes, and I understand that. It's easy to make very simple mistakes, so it's a much better plan to always go through the process. Now, we know that in the key of G major, we've got G, A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a Roman numeral 4. If you want more review about this whole process, that's in another one of my videos that's up on Blackboard. Here we've got something very, very similar. I think I've had this before. One of the tricks that can help your analysis go faster is if you don't want to go through and figure out every single chord, look for where something has appeared before and copy your previous answer. Nothing wrong with that at all. All right, next one. I've got an F sharp, an A, and a C. This is a chord that we're going to be talking about in a little bit, so don't worry about that one for the moment. And I come back to a G and a B. Aha! That for now came a lot faster than I thought it would. Okay, so when we are in a key, we have to know the root of the chord. We have to know that. There's no way to have that not appear. Did composers ever omit the root of a chord and expect us to know that it was a one chord? Yes, of course they did. Because if you've ever heard the old adage that we teach you everything in Music Theory 1 so that we can break all those rules in Music Theory 2, I'm sorry to say it's very true. But we need the root. We need the third, because the third tells us whether or not a triad is major or minor. We need that third. We don't really need the fifth of the chord. So the fact that we've only got G and B in this triad, it's going to sound enough like a G major triad for us to know that it feels like a one chord, and it's got 2 out of the 3 pitches. Next one, I've got a D. Now this one has 4 notes, so I'm going to write it out just so I can see. I've got a D, F sharp, A, C, and the D is in the bass. D is which scale degree in the key of G? It is 5. We've already talked about how for now 5 is always going to be major. However, this is not a triad. If I leave it like that, then it's just a triad. I have to add the 7th on there because there is a chordal 7th. Root, 3rd, 5th, and 7th up from the root. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's why we call them those. So there's a 5-7 chord. And if you remember the order of what chords happen to come after each other, 1 goes to 5, usually goes back to, shocker of shockers, 1. I'm happy to make as many of these videos as you would like, so just shoot me an email if you want some more practice. In the meantime, have a good rest of your day.